Alright, in this video we will see how to do full updates and partial updates using put and patch mapping. So let's add put mapping here. So put mapping is for complete update. Okay, full update. So let's add void here. Alright, and then let's add an update method, and let's add. So put mapping should accept the user ID here, right? The student ID. Let's give it short student ID just ID. But and then we will take it using path variable. Okay, path variable, annotate its path variable and set the name to id, and then our id should be integer, so integer id, and then again we accept a body. So let's add the request body annotation here, and then let's add student here, student. Okay, all right. So integer any is missing. Let's take student service dot, let's add an update method. There's no update method, so let's add it. So we will pass student and id field to this update method. Let's stop the server first. Let's create this update method, create a method, we got update method create. Now we go to student service impl and add this unimplemented method, and first we need to set the student object the id of the student, right? So we set the id of the student, and then finally we save this in the database. All right, so student repo dot save, oh, student repo dot save student. All right, so this is how you write a put mapping. This is for complete update. Let's test it out. Okay, our application is running now. Let's add a localhost student mapping with put. Okay, see, you can see that if for post, put, get, delete, for everything the API will be same. Okay, we will just have, if you want, we'll just have some ID field, that's it, but the API will remain same. So that is a REST standard that you have to maintain when you're developing REST APIs. And then we will put the ID. So let's get the students first here. There are no students. Okay, let's create the students in the database first. So we got the ID of the student. So let's check. Yeah, the student is now in the database. Okay, right now let's create a put mapping with ID 1. This student had ID 1, had ID 1, so with ID 1, and then let's try to totally update this student object. Okay, now let's add first, just copy this body, and then I will make it as vice def. Okay, and now if I click on send, this record that we got here, right? We had only one record in the database, and this record with ID 1 should be updated from common PTU to vice def. So I'll make this put request now. Now see, we got 200. Okay, now let's see by getting all the users. See, our user got changed to vice def. Alright, let's save this to our collection. Yeah, we save the put request, and then now how to do partial updates. Let's try to partial updates we need to do with patch mapping. All right, so there is, let's write a patch mapping, and similarly we accept, I think it's same. Right, so we accept the ID here, patch mapping ID here, and then instead of student object, let's create another DQ, another entity called partial student, partial student entity. Let's name it as entity. All right, so let's name it as partial student entity. Okay, so there is no partial student entity yet. So see that we are yeah, see that the method names are same. See, for both put and patch mapping, right? Yeah, we are just overriding the control methods here. Sorry, overloading the control methods with different objects, right? So let's create this object in entity model package, create. So it will be the same DTO. Let's, yeah, same DTO, but without the first name. All right, without the first name. So we will keep only last name for updating, for partial updates, and let's name this back to partial student entity. See, the table name is same. You can create as many entities you want for the same table, and as many repositories you want for the same table. Repositories are nothing but your data access objects, right? So let's move this data science status also for this partial student entity object, and then stop the server first, and then let's create a repo here, right? So let's name this repo to be partial student entity repo. All right, and this should have partial student entity. All right, we got our partial student entity the object, and now let's import this in controller. There is no update method in the interface, so let's create this update method in the interface. Let's try the patch mapping. Yeah, so let's go and create a new patch mapping object, and here in this object we only right, so we go to body raw JSON, and here we only add the last name right? So in this partial update, we add only the last name. So we'll change the last name to something else like anon, right? So let's try this. 200, okay. Since there was no record, it is useless to create. Let's restart this application again. So first, save this patch request, save, right? So let's first, you can see that in get there is no data indicated. So let's create create a student record here. So when we do the get, we get one record with ID 1 power BTT, and then we do the patch. So let's try put also first. Let's try put. So our record got updated from point BTT to Y step. So you can see that it got updated to Y step. Now when I do patch and get the record again, it should be Y no, right? Let's close both of these. Now let's go to patch here and then 200. Okay, so now let's send the request again. See, we got Y no. This is how we do partial updates in Spring REST APIs in Spring Boot. Alright. In the next video we will talk about how to do delete how to delete a record resource using Spring REST APIs. Right.